Winds are coming from the Gulf. They're blowing towards the north at up to 20 to 25 miles an hour. But in the western part of Texas, you have winds coming from the southwest, blowing up to 25 miles an hour. In the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma, both panhandles, winds are coming from the north at up to 20 miles an hour, but then they shift to the northeast. Then we go to the Midwest, where in places like the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes region, winds are moving to the north, but winds are up to 20 miles an hour in the Ohio Valley, but they become a little stronger, moving up to 30 miles an hour in some places like northwestern Illinois, all the way to Wisconsin, upper Michigan. In Minnesota, you do have a surface low just located in the northwestern part of the state. Iowa, Missouri, winds are moving to the north at up to 25 to 30 miles an hour. In the Dakotas, you have winds coming from the west-northwest at up to 30 miles an hour, converging with winds coming from Iowa and Illinois and into Minnesota. Winds, I don't know if I already said it, but they're moving up to 30 miles an hour in the Dakotas. Northeastern North Dakota, just a little bit light and variable, but looks like as though it's moving towards the center in northwestern Minnesota. In Kansas and Nebraska, winds are coming from the northwest, shifting to the northeast, blowing up to 25 miles an hour. Now we move to the west, where as you can see, folks, that in the northwestern part of the country, where you have winds moving up to 35 miles an hour, in much of Montana, Wyoming moving to the east, if I haven't said anything. Idaho has some lighter winds moving to the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour, but near Idaho Falls, just moving up to 30 miles an hour. In the Pacific Northwest, winds coming from the ocean, but they're shifting westerly winds to the north along the coastline, moving up to 40 miles an hour in some places, otherwise it's up to 30 miles an hour. In the leeward side of the Cascades, though, winds are blowing to the north at up to 30 miles an hour in some places. In the southwestern part of the country, you do have light and variable winds in Nevada, much of Utah, but they look like as though they're moving to the east at up to 20 miles an hour. Colorado has winds that are converging near Denver, moving up to 30 miles an hour in some places, but they're converging just southeast of Denver. New Mexico, they have winds moving to the east, some places moving up to 25 miles an hour. Arizona, a little light though, but still generally moving to the east though. In California, you have winds that are somewhat light and variable in many places though, but Southern California, they look like as though winds that are moving from the shore and into inland, and maybe moving a little bit more inland towards the Colorado River as we speak. In Northern California, though, it looks like winds are moving to the north, but they're slow moving for the most part. The Central Valley, California, they're moving to the southeast at up to 20 miles an hour. Let's go talk about temperatures, region by region. New England has temperatures starting off in the low 30s to the low mid 40s. In upstate New York and Pennsylvania, we do have temperatures that are in the mid 30s to the mid 40s. In Maryland, in West Virginia, and Delaware, including Washington, D.C., temperatures are in the mid 40s to mid 50s. Then we go to the southeast, places like the Carolinas. Temperatures, they're in the 50s. Georgia, along with Alabama, Mississippi, temperatures, they're in the 60s. Tennessee, 52 in Knoxville to 59 in Nashville and 64 in Memphis. Arkansas, temperatures are in the 60s. Louisiana, upper 60s to low 70s. In Florida, in the panhandle part of Florida, temperatures are in the 60s. The peninsula part, they're in the 70s. In Oklahoma, temperatures are in the upper 50s to upper 60s. In the panhandle of Texas, temperatures are in the 60s. Hold on a minute. Never mind about that, folks. Now, let's see throughout the rest of the Lone Star State. Looks like temperatures are going to be in the 70s, though Laredo is going to be at 84. Then we go to the Ohio Valley, where the Ohio Valley temperatures in places like Ohio, they're in the 40s. Kentucky temperatures, along with Indiana, they're in the upper 40s to low 50s. Illinois temperatures are in the 50s. Then we go to Michigan, where temperatures in the upper part of the state, they're in the upper mid 30s to mid 40s. Lower Peninsula, mid 40s. Wisconsin, upper 30s to low 50s. Minnesota, temperatures range from 35 in International Falls to 50 in St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah, because it gets really cold up there, but it gets milder down south. In the Dakotas, temperatures range from the low 40s to the mid 50s. Down along the Missouri River, you have in Iowa, temperatures are in the 50s, along with Nebraska. Missouri, temperatures are in the mid 50s to mid 60s, as well as folks in Kansas. Now we go to the Northern Rockies. In western Montana, temperatures are in the 40s. The eastern half, they're in the 50s. Idaho, in the northern half of the state, plus Idaho Falls, temperatures are in the 40s. The rest of Idaho, temperatures are in the 50s. In Wyoming, temperatures range from the mid 40s to low 50s. In Colorado, temperatures range from the mid 50s to low 60s. Utah, temperatures in the northern half of the state, they are, well, much of the state, they are in the mid 40s to mid 50s. Going down south, temperatures range from the upper 50s to low 70s. Throughout much of Nevada, temperatures are in the 50s, but then you go down south in southern Nevada, especially Las Vegas, temperatures are in the 60s to mid 70s. In northern New Mexico, temperatures range from the mid 50s to mid 60s. Southern New Mexico, temperatures range from the upper 60s to low 80s. In Arizona, in the northern half of the state, temperatures range from 52 in Alpine to 70 in Kingman. Then you go down in southern Arizona, where temperatures are in the 80s. Then we go to the coastline of California, where temperatures range from 59 in Eureka to 70 in LA. The San Francisco Bay Area has temperatures that are in the 60s, as well as San Diego, 80 in Indio. Much of the Central Valley of California, temperatures range from the upper 50s to low 70s. We go up to the Pacific Northwest, where temperatures all over Oregon, they range from the mid 40s to mid 50s. Then you go to Washington State, they vary with 41 in Trail to 61 in Walla Walla. Otherwise, throughout much of the state, temperatures range from the mid 40s to upper 50s. There's a lot of strong winds along the coast in the northeast, as well as those folks in Montana all the way to northern Colorado, and as well as folks along the coastline in the Pacific Northwest. Gusty winds, plenty of gusty winds still remaining as from last night. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but right now we're talking about gusts at this moment where mainly they have been moving from 30 to 50 miles an hour in many places, and still ongoing though. 50 to 70, maybe close to 80 mile per hour winds in the Rockies all the way down to New Mexico, and as well as 30 to 50 miles an hour of gusts in Minnesota and in the upper Mississippi Valley, the Ozarks, the Southern Plains, and very strong winds in the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Wind gusts are blowing about 60 to 80 plus miles an hour. And gusts, it's a big deal. And now, let's take a look at the humidity. Now, where's the most moist part of the country? Throughout the Gulf, plenty of humidity there. Mildly humid throughout the northern part of New England, all the way to the Great Lakes region. On the northern side, though, and in the northern tier of the country, like North Dakota, Minnesota, plenty of humidity is there in Kansas too, and as well as Idaho and the northern Rockies, Bitterroot Mountains as well. But it's super humid for those along the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest as a result of the atmospheric rivers. You can see, yep, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. A lot of heavy rains, a lot of heavy snow piling up on the mountains and the Cascades, and parts of the Sierra Nevadas too. But let's take a look using rainfall accumulation just to see how much rain will there be in the next 24 hours. Okay, never mind. Okay, now what about those from, let's see, Mississippi all the way to Michigan? Okay, so starting off from Mississippi all the way to Pennsylvania, rainfall estimates range from half an inch to a full inch of rain. And a similar story throughout the northern half of the Ohio Valley, all the way to Iowa City in Iowa and northeastern Missouri, and as well as about an inch and a half, up to an inch and a half of rain throughout Michigan and the Great Lakes region. Oh man, didn't mean to do that. Then we go to the Pacific Northwest, where there is a lot of rain, but in the Bitterroot Mountains of Idaho, wherever there is rain, just about an inch or two, many places. Along the coast, though, oh boy, up in the Cascades, especially Seattle, 2 to 4 inches of rain. Locally heavier amounts are possible, though, just to keep in mind. Oh, and last but not least, I forgot about South Florida. South Florida, about up to a full inch of rain is forecasted in the next 24 hours to be accumulated. And what about snowfall? Any new snow in the next 24 hours? I would say not much. Probably traceable amounts, barely a traceable amount of snow in Maine and New Hampshire. About up to an inch in some places in Wisconsin, Michigan, and up to 3 inches to almost 6 inches of snow in northeastern Minnesota. About to up to an inch or two in northern North Dakota and the northern Rockies. About as much as around 6 to almost a foot of snow. In the Cascades, though, definitely around up to 2 feet of snow in some places. Olympic National Park, up to a foot. Very few places in Oregon could get about as much as up to 3 inches to almost 6 inches of snow. But just keep in mind, folks, all these are just estimates. It doesn't really mean that's a real thing. Consult with your local weather office or your local officials just to find out the actual amounts are and will be, because these are just estimates. Especially wind gust, wind speed, and wind direction as well. They could all vary due to localized parameters such as sea breeze, land breeze, mountain breeze, lake breeze, sea breeze. No. I already said sea breeze. Valley breeze and such, as well as cloud coverage and other factors